Hi, I'm Jason. This is Chicago Mastering Service. I would guess that maybe it's approximately 50% at this point. Yeah, it's really become pretty significant in terms of our overall workload. I think a couple other places have gotten out of the business since we've started, and I don't know, we've just gotten good word of mouth, and I kind of think that people have just gotten more interested in releasing vinyl because people are starting to maybe think of a big box of CDs sitting in their basement as just, you know, kind of garbage or something. You know, so for independent artists and stuff, it's like a CD. I think vinyl just has more appeal as a calling card. That's something unusual in this day and age or something. So people are kind of just going back to that as a more. I think it's more fun for people to release, and I think it's more fun for people to own and enjoy. And when you know, everyone really just wants to turn their CDs into digital MP3s or what have you anyway, for the most part. So a lot of people are simply offering downloads along with the vinyl purchase. The main pitfall of all music that is brought in for mastering these days, I think, is just hyper compressed and limited music, because in general, if you bring in music with no dynamics left at all, there's very little we can do that isn't just sort of triage. You know, when people have clipped waveforms on a lot of their music and have a lot of just really unpleasant sort of digital distortion, you're starting off deep in a hole. And that's true for just general CDs and the listening experience of music, I think, but it's even more so for vinyl because, like I was saying earlier, like, vinyl doesn't really like to play back square waves, you know, so if you're essentially like having a big waveform that was going like this, but instead it goes like this, then to the needle, that's the same kind of a brick wall we were talking about earlier. So some people, I think, get that going and they hear this kind of like hairy, high-end fuzz cut type sound that sounds really intense or something, but it really is not a great way to cut that accurately onto vinyl. So just gain issue. I mean, especially with so many people doing home recording and things like that. There's just, sometimes people bring in mixes from their Pro Tools LE or something and they literally, it's just like, it's just insane distortion. Like, it's so loud and distorted that occasionally it's a mistake. You know, we usually get in touch with people and we say, like, is this supposed to be this way? And once or twice they say, oh no, that's all, it's what happened, you know, we messed it up. But sometimes people just don't even, they're just kind of say, oh yeah, I don't know what's going on, you know, and in most cases in Pro Tools based projects, it's because people don't even have like a master fader inserted into their session, so they really can't even see how overloaded they are, you know. They just sort of listen and it's like, yeah, it sounds intense, and they have no level reference for anything other than the volume at which they're monitoring. So yeah, it's just weird. It's like people don't have the background in learning about gain stages and stuff, which is such a basic part of most sort of sound courses, or even just, you know, learning on your own or learning through peers and things. But so a lot of times I'll tell people, try putting a master fader on this session, and they do that and they say, whoa, like it's just like a solid bar of, you know, yellow ending in red or whatever. And then we can get, you know, better results sometimes when people see that and they'll spend a couple days and remix things or whatever. But other times that's just the way it is and we just have to work with it. But you know, it's nice when it's nice when people bring in a good recording, because it's a lot easier to make it into a great sounding master. When people bring in a not great recording, usually it's a lot of work to get it to just sound like a pretty good recording.